this is Allie Kiefer from CHHS 592 with Dr. Hugheskamp. Today's lecture will be going over how media impacts students' overall health. And the national standard, as seen here, is National Standard 2, which states that students will analyze the influences of family, peers, culture, media, technology, and other factors on health behaviors. The North Carolina Healthy Living Standard is 9 PCH 2, which states that students will evaluate health information and products. The learning objective is 9 PCH 2, which states that students will monitor the effects of media and popular culture on normative beliefs that contradict scientific research on health. The HBO discussed is PHW-12, which states that students will prevent health problems that result from fads or trends. So in day one, I will be discussing class expectations with students. I will hand out a formative entrance slip so that I can gauge students' previous knowledge on both vocab from the unit and on previously held beliefs on these topics. I will then be discussing the vocab with the students and their beliefs, and will end class with an introduction of the group assignment that they will be completing in the unit and the final essay, which is their summative exam for this unit. So since this unit is health related and it discusses media in terms of the subliminal messages that are included in them, I want to know what students' beliefs are, and in order to do this, I have a set of class expectations. And these expectations really students should fulfill on a daily basis, because I want to make sure that no one feels left out or that their belief is unaccepted with their peers. So these are just some of the class expectations I have for my students. So entrance slip. So this would be the time where I would give students 5 minutes to take the entrance slip and fill it out. So at the top, there are terms, definitions, and then at the bottom, students can write down their personal beliefs on subjects which cover the 3 topics in this unit, which the 3 topics in this unit are smoking in media, violence in media, and body image in media. So this would be when I would break and give students those 5 minutes, and then I would collect the entrance exam, and then we would discuss that material as a group. So as I just stated, the unit outline, 3 main concepts: media and smoking, violence in media, and media and body image. Now, the central focus for this entire unit is that not everything you see in the media should be the accepted norm. Now, this check for understanding. This is what we would be discussing as a class. I would not hand these back to students, the entrance slips. I would actually collect them, and then I would take them and help put students in groups. So I know I have one student that is a Tourette syndrome student and one student that has a writing disability. So these entrance slips would help me form groups for the group assignments. Now the check for understanding, the vocab in this unit. One of the words is media, and the definition of media is the main means of mass communication. So that could be anything from newspapers to magazines, television, movies, or social media. The second term, and it's really the main term for this unit, is the word subliminal, and that is perceived by or affecting someone's mind without their being aware of it. The third term is analysis, and that is a detailed examination of anything complex in order to understand its nature or to determine its essential features. In essence, a thorough study of something. The next term is mean world syndrome, and this is a phenomenon whereby violence-related content of mass media makes viewers believe that the world is a more dangerous place than it actually is. The next word is disseminate, and that simply means a spread of information. Diet, a special course of food to which one restricts oneself either to lose weight or for medical reasons. Fad, an intense and widely shared enthusiasm for something, especially one that is short-lived and without basis in the object's qualities, in essence, a craze. Cultivation theory. This is a theory created or coined by George Gardner, which states that repeated exposure to television over time can subtly cultivate viewers' perception of reality. So in essence, it changes how people view media. And the last vocab in this unit is the word emotion, and that is a natural, instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationship with others. So now at this time, when we were going over vocabulary, if anyone had a question over the vocab, I would answer those questions, and I would, if needed to, do a talk aloud. So I would take one of these and put it in a story so that students could better understand the terminology that we were talking about in this unit. So now the class discussion. And really, I have a lot of formative exams in this unit. And this is the bottom half of the entrance slip, which was the formative assessment for this day one. So now we would really be getting into the meat of the unit, which were the three topics. So the smoking, the violence, and the body image. The first question on this states that, did you know it is illegal to smoke until the age of 18? What are your beliefs on this law? So then I would be asking students essentially, did you know, yes or no? And what are your beliefs? So again, for this one, I would use the talk aloud strategy and would try to put in perspective anything that I could for students so that they could better understand the topics and then put that into their group assignment. The second question on this sheet asks, how does mass media affect the way you think about your body? And the third question asks, how does mass media affect the way you believe? So the second question goes to the body image. The third question goes to the violence. Okay, so now we are getting into the group presentation. So after we've discussed the class expectations, gone over the entrance exam, gone over the class discussions, this will be really the end of the class period for day one. And I would open up students with not only the group expectations or the group presentation, but the rubric itself. And so essentially what this project does is it breaks down students in 3 groups of 5 students apiece, and then students take either smoking, violence, or body image, and they have to present the following: statistical data, scientific research, 2 media resources, and an explanation. So how does media contradict scientific research in the area of smoking, violence, and body image? And this would be where they would choose their actual topic and would break down from here. So the question under explanation, there are 3. What did your research show? How does this differ from what media shows? And how does media influence public perception? So now at the bottom of this, there are some other requirements that would be expected of students. And one of those is that it has to grab the attention of students. Anytime you do a group presentation, if students are not drawn into it, then they do not necessarily learn what they should learn and what they could learn. So I want to ensure that students make this creative. And this presentation should be between 5 to 10 minutes. We don't want to go over 10 minutes and we don't want to go under 3. We really want a presentation that has the material listed and that covers all of the elements listed in the rubric. And then the last one is that all members of the group should be involved in both the research and presentation. So now the group presentation rubric. And this is a group assignment. It will be stored not individually, but as a group. So the first list of criteria is content. So for content, a limited or a score of 0 would be that the group did not follow proper PowerPoint template slides and or the elements in the slide were missing or incomplete. So the baseline or 1 point would be that the group included some elements from the PowerPoint template, but not all. And the target, which would receive a score of 2, is that the group followed PowerPoint template and all elements were included. The second criteria is the actual presentation, and the limited or the score of 0 states that presentation did not flow logically and presentation was under 5 minutes or over 10 minutes. So the baseline, which again is a point of 1, is that presentation flowed, but timing was not between 5 and 10 minutes, or presentation did not flow, but timing was between 5 and 10 minutes. The target for this one is that the presentation was well rehearsed, it flowed logically, and it was between 5 and 10 minutes. The third criteria is group member participation. So the limited is only 1 of the 5 group members presented for the entire group. The baseline is that only 2 to 4 of the 5 group members were presented, and that the target is that all 5 group members participated in the presentation. The last criteria, and that is engagement, is that limited students' participation engage less than 25% of all class members. The baseline is that the presentation engaged at least 50% of all class members. And the target is that the presentation engaged 85% or more of the class. And the content would weigh 2 times the overall grade. Presentation, group member, and engagement would only weigh 1 times the overall grade of this presentation. And last but not least, I would have students go over the final essay as well. And the final essay is the summative exam for this unit. So it essentially is asking students, how does media impact our overall health? So students would collect information from the group presentations. They would be given a sheet where each presentation was listed out, and they had to write down information that they had seen that they found relevant to themselves and or family, and then they would take and they would write a response on it. So the last 5 minutes of class, I would have students write down on a sheet that I handed them groups. So they would choose top 3. They would write their name, and then they would state topic 1, topic 2, or topic 3. So that would either be smoking, violence, or body image. I would do my best to make sure every student got the topic of his or her choice, but if they did not, it would be listed to put top 2 so that students would receive at least one of those. So that is my day 1 lesson, and thank you. That was how media impacts overall health.